Why did I not see people's faces? Who else? Let's see who else is showing up. Can you plug it in for me? I can't turn around my back. All right, everybody's muted right now, so let me unmute you for now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I'm just gonna mute everybody for a minute to just go through the agenda. Then if you have questions, Vic can answer. So let me just see who else we're waiting for. I want to, where's Lillian?
Hi.
Who's Galaxy A50?
I don't know.
Who's Galaxy A50? Okay. Colin's the doggy, but I don't know who's Galaxy A50. All right, I'm typing who's Galaxy. Galaxy.
Bayer is calling in.
That
To
Bayer?
let us in. Yeah, he
Galaxy?
just did. Yeah, Bayer. Bayer's asking to come in.
Okay. I don't see. I don't see him. Oh, here we go. He's on his iPad. Okay. Okay. Let me just.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Virgo's supposed to
I
be
hear
on because I reminded him. He says, thanks for reminding him. So he's going to come on soon, I hope.
Victor's audio is off, you know.
Maybe he wants
Victor,
it off.
do you know your audio's off? He can't hear. You better text him and let him know.
See who else.
Here he is. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, sorry. I had it plugged into my other laptop. Okay. All right. So did you want to wait for anyone else before we go through the agenda, Vic?
Well, no, I mean, obviously, I try to talk to Henry and you know, and Corky. They're still in the bongo drums and smoke signal era.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
You're kidding.
So, I mean, but I told her how important it is because this is the way we may have to meet for the future because, you know, a lot of people can't come in to meet and COVID could last till the end of the year. So I told them it's important that they have to learn how to do this.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to start. So let me just mute everybody for now so that you can all hear me and we don't have, and then I'm just going to go through quickly, then Vic and whoever else can come in with the question. Okay. First one is the status of the 501c application, where we're at. I just gave Arthur the names to filed application, which is Vic, Carlin, and Corky. Those are the three names that's on the 501c3 application. And the money that we received so far, and I'm going to read off the names. Oh, so someone's trying to come in. Someone raised their hand. Who's got a question? No. All right. These are the people that we've collected money from so far. I'm saying the names just so I don't make sure I haven't missed anyone. We have Henry, Vic, Shirley, Juk, Hugh Lin, Wing Lee, Carlin, and then those are checks. Electronically, I got Lillian, Fulton, Jeff, Bayer, and Perry. And then Tai Ma paid $2,500 to Arthur to get the application rolling. The next thing from there is that what's holding up the application is that we need a mailing address. So I sent an email on behalf of Vic to Robert and Bear to see if we can use the 21 Pell Street as the mailing address, just a physical mailing address. So I said, let us know by Wednesday. The other option is for some reason, if we don't get an answer, we have to find another address. Okay, bank account. So of the electronic payments I got, Lillian, Fulton, Jeff, Bear, and Perry, they're just in the Venmo and PayPal account right now. I haven't transferred it to my personal checking account because it doesn't go to me. We have to open a checking account. So what we need to do is to have 3 names on the checking account where it requires 2 signatures for withdrawals. Now, I spoke to Tai Ma, his $2,500 that he paid to Arthur to get things rolling. We don't need to pay Tai Ma back right away until at least a year after we've become a 501c3. And that's the way I've understood, and that's the way I believe Vic explained it to us. So the money that I collect electronically, for now, Tai said, just hold it as our money that we need in the meantime, as just like startup funds. But I don't want to keep it in Venmo or PayPal. I do want to put it into a COMA checking account or some account in the meantime. Now, I did tell Vic when I had an account with Corky and Don for the elderly couple that I've been helping, I had it at Abacus Bank. There was no minimum, but it's also non-interest bearing. So that's an idea that we can do in the meantime, just so I don't have, just so that there's no monkey business about me having the money. Next thing on the agenda, we need to start thinking about board positions, just something to think about. We don't have to decide that tonight. And what kind of committees we may have. Most likely we're going to have a fundraising committee, I don't know, committee of something else, most likely fundraising committee, maybe one on membership, obviously. So those are things that we need to start thinking about. And we need to start thinking about that now, not wait until the 501c3 application has been approved. So that's the only other thing. So we need to also decide on the next date for the meeting. So now I'm going to unmute everybody. So you have questions? Someone's in the waiting room. Let's see who's Fulton. Okay. All right. So if someone has TV or radio in the background, could you just ask? I just ask that you turn it off so we don't have the background noise.
I fear the pandemic will get worse and be prolonged.
All right. Someone's
Is that
got,
me?
someone's got TV or radio on, right? If you could just turn that off.
Let me see. I might have to move.
Oh. All right, so I'm done going through the agenda quickly. So Vic, you want to speak? You have sound? Oh, here you go.
Is that better?
Vic, I can't hear you.
You need to mute everyone and then use the function there to raise their hand to speak.
Yeah. Wait, me. Okay, wait.
Hello?
Okay, I hear Bear. I heard
Hello?
Jeff. Go ahead, Vic. Go ahead. I hear you.
Oh, Don wants to get in by phone.
Oh, yeah. Does he
Did he
have?
get in?
He got that phone number. It
He
was on.
want a pass? Does it have a password?
Yeah,
he's trying to get in.
everything's here. Password is 8U. Okay, let me forward it to him. Here, Don. I put in a message and I tagged him. Okay, everybody, let me ask to unmute.
Hello?
Okay, okay, Vic, go ahead.
Rob said that he will talk to the board member and get an answer today.
Okay,
So where's Rob?
Bear, do you know where Rob is?
Oh, well, it's highly unlikely because
Okay.
the 2 trustees not even involved in the community outreach, and they don't know what's going on. They're very conservative, so unlikely.
Okay,
Right.
Yeah, but that's the purpose why we're forming COMA, so that we have the insurance to cover the church for liability, upgrade the system, Wi-Fi and video systems, and pay the church a rental fee every time we use the space.
Yeah. Well, Rob, we have to get a meeting with them, the 3 trustees, right? So, but Rob is pessimistic, and I basically it's just highly unlikely. The 2 are not that interested in getting involved.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. we've been holding events at 21 Pell for almost 2 years, right?
You mean
Yeah.
COMA events or
Well, just any
Well,
of it. I mean, you're holding events. Obviously, the church knows that you're holding screenings, right?
Right, but they don't know COMA. I mean, so far they're
Come with the
unaware
same
of COMA.
people. This is all we're doing is organizing us.
Well, Vic, it's the
It's
same
a little-
people, but there's two different
it's a
missions.
little
COMA
different,
mission is different
right.
from 21 Pell Street.
So-
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if somebody falls during your screening and sues the church, who's covering it right now?
Well, they have to buy extra insurance, so it's okay. Now, the thing is that, we can't really do it by mouth. I mean, to be honest, unlikely. But if you organize and send a letter with the explanation of COMA, the purpose, that's usually how it's done to a formal organization, right? Especially if you're going to use the address, right? So, having a address is not a simple thing, right? It's not just a mailbox. It has a lot of ramification. That's why you probably won't be able to get it from other organization because they go through a whole board process. So, 21 Pell Street was not so much organized. It was sort of like, a group of us got together. So it's not registered, nothing. So this is sort of like a more friendly relationship. But once you start address, so you gotta, so my point is that very highly unlikely it was possible Rob would have done it, right? He's pretty on top of it. So
How do we know? He's not. He told me he'll talk to them today. So
well, I'm just giving you my experience. I'm with the church 15 years.
I know. I understand.
It's not going to happen. I can't get anything through either. So
Well,
I'm the
here's the
pastor.
thing. If we can't get it, assuming, like I said, Vic, and everybody, if we don't get it, this is what's holding up the application. The application needs to have a mail address for it to go on. The P.O. box, if that's the way we have to go, or Vic, your personal address, because it's
No,
free.
I'm not using my personal address. Sorry.
But the P.O. box is $100 a year.
Wait, is Stoya Street your personal address or
No,
your
it's
company?
not.
Oh. It's his man cave address. It's his man
No,
cave address.
I'm not there. You understand? I'm not legally there. You understand?
Okay.
I'm not legally there.
Okay,
So
someone's
I
trying to get
can't
in.
use that address.
You're a ghost. You're a ghost.
Oh.
That's right. Who's that? Who's saying that?
Who's Galaxy
Me.
A50? Who's me?
It's me.
Who's
Oh,
me?
is it?
Henry.
What?
Henry,
Oh, it's me, yo.
And
where are
Kang?
you? I don't
Yeah, I
see
Kang
you.
in the house?
But I've been hearing all this, but I don't have my picture up. I'm the Galaxy A50.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you
So-
gotta hit the what do you call it? On top? There's like a video on the.
He's on his
screen.
phone. He's on his phone though.
On
And
my
he
phone.
didn't. I don't know what
Yeah,
he's.
but he can point the camera to himself, right? Well,
Yeah.
at least he's here.
Okay.
In the
Well-
right?
Well, going back to the address, Vic. If you don't want to use your address, if you don't want to use a PO box, then we're stuck with the application not being
Well,
filed.
what we should do is write a letter to the board. We need to do that
Okay.
immediately.
All right. So who's going to write the letter? You need to
Not gonna
delegate. Vic.
happen.
Are you going to write the letter?
Well, we're gonna have to somehow, because right now I'm trying to draft a press conference, a news press release for the demonstration on Friday. I have to get it tomorrow. You understand?
Yes, tomorrow.
This thing is a moving demonstration. You know, we got news press people to notify. So this is the top priority because we already announced the demonstration on the 19th, 2 p.m.
Well,
70
actually-
Mulberry.
Hey, Vic,
Spread the word.
Okay, Vic.
hold on. I'm going to have to change the date on that.
Who's that? Who's that?
That's Colin here.
Is Don coming in?
No, that's
He says
Colin.
not able to enter the password. Did you give
How
him
come?
the telephone number? It's easier.
Yeah, I gave everything to Don. He said he's having an issue with the alphanumeric password thing on his phone. He's having a problem with the Zoom app. So basically, but I
Oh,
gave him the
he doesn't-
instructions.
No, it's
Wait, let's-
difficult because you got to capitalize, and that zero is a zero, not an O. So you got
Yeah, it's a zero. It's a zero.
Yeah, let me.
Where am I now?
Who came up with that password? It's kind
It's
of
auto generated.
Oh, really? It's very hard to.
It's terrible.
Hey,
No
You're just
more.
supposed to do a cut and paste if you have to. Cut and paste.
I did, but I want to make sure he knows it's a 0, not a U.
Why
No,
can't I?
it's-
Oh.
Okay, so
So-
going back to the address.
No.
So who's going to write this letter to the board? We have to
Can I
delegate
ask
and
you
move
a
on.
question? Is it possible for post office? Is it,
He-
now, the problem with the letter is that like chicken before the egg, right? If you write a letter, you have to explain what COMA is, and then you have to give the mission statement, people
We
involved,
have
right?
a mission statement.
But
No,
he
I
said you
mean,
have to give it to the board.
well, it's like they want something as a chicken, you know.
Hey, so you're talking about drafting a letter to the board that Bayer feels is not going to do any good anyway.
Right.
So what's
It's-
the point of
listen,
that?
But
I've been there
you
15
haven't
years,
even
so-
tried. So you were defeating yourself before you even started.
Well, you could do it. I mean, you could try. No,
Yes,
no,
why
no
don't we
harm trying.
try? That's a good idea.
All right, so Vic, do you want to write the letter?
I'm working on press release
Okay,
tomorrow.
all right.
Tomorrow.
So after this press release, are you doing a?
Oh, hey, I need some help. You know what I mean? We're putting it out to major media.
Yeah,
Not the
no, hey, Vic, can I get a word in here?
Get
Go ahead.
it, get it, Carlin.
I'm moving the demonstration to the 27th, Saturday.
How
What?
come? How come?
The 19th is Juneteenth. All right, that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
end of
yeah, that's
slavery.
right.
With
Hey,
the
free the
BLM
slaves.
protest. Yeah, you guys all want to cut out. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
What?
Wait, where you going? You just
What?
got here.
I'm trying to get a word in over here.
Go ahead, Vic. I mean, Carlin, go ahead.
So you're
Yeah.
talking. Go
That's
ahead.
why you should mute everyone.
I didn't mute
Oh,
anybody.
Colin, go ahead.
No, you should mute everyone.
Oh, you want me? Oh, I'm sorry. You want? Okay.
Hand
Let's,
raised.
sorry. Let's mute everyone.
Yeah, also it's a Trump rally.
He moved
Oh.
it too.
Look, Trump rallies on the 20th.
You muted me.
Oh, wait. Hello. Sorry.
You should mute everyone else.
I'm trying. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay, just talk while I'm trying to mute everybody. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, the 19th is no good because the 19th is Juneteenth. Juneteenth is the day that marks the end of slavery. The press is going to be covering a major BLM protest. All right, there's going to be a big demonstration, countrywide, nationwide on this. So there's no press going to come. All right. You want to do it on Sunday? It's Father's Day. If you want to do it on the 20th, I won't be available, but you guys can go ahead, Vic. Make the call. I think you can unmute Vic now.
Oh, let me unmute everybody.
I also have Leslie drafting a one paragraph press release, which I'll edit when I get in the morning.
Yeah. Go ahead, Vic. You're unmuted.
Well, like I said, this thing has changed 5 times already, So what are we doing? Is it the 27th or what?
What do you want?
The what? I'm sorry.
27th, he said.
The 27th is a Saturday. Some things you just can't rush, man. I mean, like the 20th, the 19th is not a good day.
Yeah.
I just looked it up, and that's the day that marks the end of slavery. And with the BLM protest going on to the 16th day, you're not going to get anyone to come. You get the Chinese press, and nobody reads that rag anyway.
But I know you want to have the demonstration before their next meeting, right?
Well, the
It
problem
doesn't really
is
matter.
that on the 15th, there's a city CB3 and the
That's
landmarks,
tomorrow.
Commission, right?
Tomorrow and Tuesday.
And then the 16th is their report again to follow up to the city council, right?
There is no meeting scheduled for the 16th. To move to July.
Oh, they moved that now?
CB3 is July. Land Use Committee. On the
Okay.
20th.
Now, when is that town hall? What day is that town hall?
The town hall is on the 25th. That's hosted by CB3 and the districts elected. That's a dial-in Zoom meeting.
So what's happening on the
That's why I'm saying there's really no rush. Because we can't get allies to come in. We have a bunch of us sitting around there, rah, rah, rah.
So but the 15th, there will be people from the, who are advocating landmark status, right?
On the 15th is a landmarks committee. Linda Jones is the chair of the landmarks committee. They're going to discuss possibilities for landmarking the ground floor. I see that as very, very, very slim chance of anything because DCAS and the LPC, the Landmarks Preservation Commission, has already ruled it out as landmarkable. Okay, they weighed in on the last full board. On the full board, they already set in their position on it. Since the tower itself was removed decades ago, right? It's no longer, enough of the structure. Original structure was changed with no longer landmarkable. That's the DCAS. That's the LPC's position. So landmarking is very slim. So Linda Jones is trying to create a diversion. Basically, that's it.
Well, let me ask you a question because obviously, Virgo, I wanted Virgo to be on this meeting.
He's here. Virgo's here.
Virgo, speak up on the Hewlett process. Where's Virgo?
The V. He's the V. Virgos. Are you there? He's listening. Vic asked you a question, Virgo.
Which is?
The Hewlett process. You said that all city construction uses has to go through a Hewlett process, and they're bypassing the Hewlett process now.
Who bypassed the Hewlett process?
The DCAS. Whoever they are.
Then there has to be a public hearing.
They haven't had one.
They're scheduling one, the town hall, and then this, actually, since the city owns the building, if the city is going to fund the building, they do not have to go through a ULURP. It does not automatically trigger a ULURP. A ULURP is when they want to go past the FAR, which I think they're going to have to go through the FAR to fulfill what the community needs are. We want a public theater, so we want to add 3 levels to it, and that is done through a variance.
All right,
Okay.
we have 10 minutes.
Even if they even if they're going to modify the building and it will require a variance, that still will trigger a public hearing requirement. If the city is going to maintain ownership of the building, yes, that simplifies the process a lot more. But if they're going to go for a variance, that will trigger a public hearing requirement.
That is
question?
entirely true. That is true. Okay, if the city maintains ownership of the building, right, and they want to add three levels, it goes to a public hearing for variance. In which case, it would pass because we all want the variance.
But what happens if they tear it down to the parking lot? There's no building anymore.
Well, that's the whole thing. If they're hell bent on tearing it down, they really don't care what the community cares. It's because the city is looking at a major deficit. We're in a recession and it looks likely we're going into a depression. And the city needs money. They're going to auction that site off.
So what's to prevent them from selling off the land?
Nothing.
At this point, nothing.
Yeah, they own it by right. You gotta read my report from 1977, City Planning Commission. They could have auctioned it at that time, 1977.
Well,
Yeah,
don't
but
forget.
they made a deal with CCBA. You give me the votes.
That's
and I
right.
give
That's
you the...
why I said you gotta talk to, if you wanna, let's say if they develop into a residential, right? The developer will get bonus if he include community facility. That's the only route.
All right. Now, okay, here is a possible scenario. If we can find a Chinese developer who is interested in developing it, all right, of course, any developer wants their cut. And I think that, once you turn it over to a developer, the best you can get is probably a 25/75 or a 30/70.
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends if it's a commercial building, right? If it's a residential, you could combine with residential, I mean commercial. You get 2-floor commercial and you get 3.44 for residential. In other words, 3 times, right? A commercial building, you get 6 times the square footage. If it's a tower with plaza, you get 7.2 times. That's the scheme I'm working on. That if there's a plaza that has a wall, that we may include some of the old detail, right? And if the community organizer could get 3 or 4 floors, that's all you could get.
Yeah, but the problem is that there's no money to build.
Well, no, the private developer would develop it, right? The only advantage he has is bonus. If he put in community space, right, he could build higher. I study like Monroe Street. I don't know if you guys see Monroe Street. That's how the developer, they built 5 floors of community space, right? They allow them to go up much higher for residential. Hey, Virgo, right? We're looking at that. I tried to call you on that.
Well, so are you moving the demonstration to June 27th? Just so we have some time to write a letter to the church board now?
Yeah, I think the 27th works. You can do it on the 20th.
I think there was a reason that you couldn't do it on the 20th because you're not available.
Well, I'm not available, but yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, but if it can go ahead. I mean,
No,
So-
I'm not going ahead. We gotta be in this together, bro.
All right, so you're
all
gonna
right, so
move,
it's going to be on 27th.
27,
all right.
27.
so that gives time for Vic to write the letter to the
No,
church.
I'm not writing the letter. Sorry.
All right, then,
I'll take care of the press release.
all right,
Since this
then,
is not a COMA thing, I'll take care of the press release.
all right.
I'm working on it with Leslie anyway.
All right, so Colin's working on the 70 Mulberry Street press release. So Vic, do you want to do the church letter?
To which church?
Well,
What-
First
What
Baptist.
church? What church is the letter
21
being
Pell,
written?
21 Pell.
Oh, First Chinese Baptist Church.
I
Right.
want to use 21 Pell as the mailing address.
So we need to we formally need to write a formal letter to the church board.
And Virgo, you
Requesting.
know how unlikely that will be, right?
You don't try, you don't get anything. If you
Right.
say no, then you don't go anywhere.
All right, so Vic, would you like to write that letter? Because Colin's doing the press release now.
No, the point is that I need help. I'm not an English
Okay.
major.
I'll help you do a draft, Vic.
Okay, so Virgo's doing the draft for Vic. All right, so again, this letter, whichever way it goes, that's the only thing that's holding up the application for the 501c3. So we only have like 9 minutes left to the Zoom meeting.
All right. What?
Okay.
What?
Oh,
you know, why
so
don't
I
we
just
look
wanted
into
to
it?
ask one thing. What is the church's stand on why they wouldn't want the church's address to be used? Why would they be, not wanting to do that? What would be the reasoning?
The trustees are comprised of very hands-off and very averse to anything quote-unquote controversial. So it's not based on any principle or anything. It's based on the personalities of the 3 trustees, Robert G., Peter Leong, and Gary Kwan. Gary Kwan is a born-again evangelical Christian.
I'll
Wow.
work on Gary. You know, like we just have to work on these guys. You know, take them out to the backyard and give them
You're definitely gonna get a no.
Vic, it
that way.
we'll work that way.
You're gonna get a no anyway. So
7 minutes. We've got 7 minutes.
And
That's
Peter,
7 minutes.
Peter Leong
you
is
make
the
them an offer you can't refuse.
Peter is the penny pincher, what's in it for the church in terms of money, a trustee. And Robert, who is probably the most community-minded, is outnumbered by the other 2.
Oh,
So we
and
need to
Gary,
swing
what
one
did you say
vote,
about
right?
Gary?
One vote to 2 to 3, right? Or they have to be unanimous.
No, it can be 2 to 3. It can be 2 to 3.
It can be.
It can be 2 votes against 1.
Oh,
We
2
just gotta
against 1?
swing one vote.
Right. Need to get 1 vote.
So we'll work on the 2 of them.
But you
Okay.
still need a letter. So Vic is
Well,
going to
the
do it.
letter is just the formality.
Right.
The 2
Virgo's,
people we gotta deal with. We gotta take them out to dinner or something.
Virgo's going to work on a draft with Vic. And until that
It's
letter's
all about
out.
the approach, my dear.
No, I'm just saying, if the members of COMA invite one of these guys to dinner to see that we're not a bunch of yahoos, that we're all community oriented, that we're all working on trying to save China. The church is dying. There's nobody going there anymore.
It's more the
No, I
secret.
don't know. This church
So
is doing
there.
pretty well.
Okay. So,
So Bayer, do you think
I
maybe
mean,
it would be worthwhile to maybe work on Gary instead? Because I think maybe Gary might be a little more receptive
Hey,
to it. What do you
maybe
think,
you
Bayer?
could with your Gong connection, right? All right, maybe. I mean,
Well,
go back to your roots.
yeah, but
take
I
Gary
gotta
out to
have
lunch
I gotta have you standing next to me, Bayer.
with a baseball
Yeah,
bat.
really.
Hey, hey, listen,
All right.
we can't get the church as a mailing address. I got a friend down on Monroe Street. He sells post office boxes. It's like
Listen, we're gonna base our operation on 21 Pell. If we don't even make an attempt, just give up before we even start. We're doing our operation out of 21. We're gonna have community screenings, town halls. 21 Pell is like,
yes, but you still need an address trust to a mail, and then that's what the application needs, a mailing
I
address.
understand that, so let's work on it.
Right, so Virgo and
So
Vic,
we're
you're going
gonna
to address.
try to talk to Gary. Maybe we could swing the vote.
Send
This
the
is how
letter.
elections are won, how backdoor deals are made, right? One vote.
Once you
That's
send that
right.
letter, then
One vote.
you can work on Gary once that letter is sent and follow as a
That's right.
follow-up.
That's right.
Okay?
Exactly.
That's the only thing that's holding it up. Now,
Hey,
let's,
Vic, that could take a
So,
month.
so Virgo's going to draft the letter, right?
yeah.
Virgo,
Yeah.
you
He's
try,
Well,
right?
gonna
Yes.
put it together.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, wait, so now going back, let me just, how do I mute everybody? What am I supposed to do with this money in PayPal and Venmo? It's just there.
Hang on to it until we get our act together.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on to it. Vic said
Yeah, we
that.
trust you, Shirley.
I know. Just make
Take it out.
clear.
Take
Don't
it
worry,
over.
we don't think you're gonna go off on a vacation to Florida.
Actually, I'm due to use 3 days of vacation before the end to carry
Put
on.
it on Yellow Peril in the 5th.
Okay. All right. So before this shuts down, when should we have our next meeting? July what? Month from now? That's July 19th or the 12th? It's another Sunday?
Yeah, make it a Sunday. I think it's easier for everybody.
So July 12th, 8 o'clock?
8 p.m.
Yeah. Is that good?
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We still have 6 minutes.
Okay, just as a quick point of strategy, just to think over. Whatever interaction we have with any of whether it's the Community Board 3, whether it's Landmarks Commission, whether it is any of the city agencies, DCAS, anything, we should all stress that the government, cannot make any decisions in regards to the future development of PS 23 without community input, and they should form or be required to form a working committee that consists of X numbers of community representatives on the working committee that would decide the future of PS 23. Okay?
First of all, we
Okay.
already have CCBA, CCA, CPC, BID, core group, and the former tenants who are wanting demolition immediately.
No. There's no formal decision
Working
making.
committee.
There is no formal decision-making body that puts in writing input from, the community representatives on the working committee. You need to get it formalized. And then once they formalize it, we collectively, as a group, as a committee, should try to get one of our people on the working committee.
Right.
What do you mean? We has COMA or what? We has what?
Yes, we as COMA.
So you got to get that organized quick.
Yes.
We're working
Chicken.
on it.
Wait, chicken or the egg?
Well, okay. You know, with the working committee, they're just gonna load it up, and it's a kangaroo vote anyway. So, yeah, you can forget about that process.
But Colin, if we don't formalize a request, a demand from us as community representatives to the city, to the responsible city agencies, there's nothing for them to sink their teeth into. They're going to keep saying, well, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
That's right. But which organization that would represent the interests of the activists here?
Yes, correct.
Which?
You know.
That's why we're organizing COMA, because we are not CCBA, we are not CPC, but we are concerned citizens who are finally organizing so they can hear our noise.
Well, not
Right,
noise,
so-
but strategy.
Strategy,
plan.
right?
A plan. So we
Yeah,
have
so
a plan first.
I'm
That's
making
why we're organizing.
I'm making a concrete suggestion as to what we would be demanding in any interaction or communication between us, COMA, and any of the city agencies that will be involved in making any decisions regarding PS 23. That's my point.
Yeah, I agree with him.
When is the next meeting here?
July 12th, Sunday, 8 p.m.
Okay.
We have 2.5 minutes left.
Do they just turn you off, or could
Yeah,
you just keep going?
you just get dropped. It just turns to black.
So why don't you just wait until they do that?
No, I can't renew. That's it. It's 40 minutes. That's it.
Oh,
It
I
just-
thought,
Nope, it just
See, this
cancels.
is the problem with Zoom meetings. Imagine having a CB3 meeting or a landmarks committee meeting where you only have like a minute to say anything and then it cuts off. Ridiculous.
we could do WebEx or,
No, I'm
Google
talking about the
Hangout
city
or-
agencies are saying this is the community feedback. And
Oh,
then they
you
cut
know
you
what?
off.
on Facebook, they do have a room thing.
Not everybody's on Facebook like Virgo. Virgo's on a Facebook. We have less than a minute. We're going to be dropped.
Yeah, Virgo's still using smoke signals.
Okay.
Exactly.
This is going to be dropped. So July 12th, 8 o'clock. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm recording this video, so I'll send the link. I don't know how.
Virgo, I'll give you a call. Drop by the office.
Yeah. Vic and
Oh,
Virgo
you-
get together.
Are you recording the video? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're
Vic,
gonna be able to see this again?
yeah.
What do you
Oh, okay.
see?
Yeah.
That's a
Lou
good
did this meeting.
idea. It's
Yeah.
a good idea to record it, because that's how you'll get the minutes, right?
Yeah.
Don't you have to have bylaws for minutes?
Well, we're not official yet, but we're supposed to have a quorum. Well, I don't know what the quorum is, but
Don't worry, we got Vic on video.
yeah.
That's all we freaking need to commit him.
All right. So
Okay.
I'll figure out the video, July 12th, 8 o'clock, put it on your schedule. I still have the money electronically, and this is just going to stay there.
Fine.
Okay, it's been a pressure.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
pleasure.
Yeah. Anybody else who hasn't paid yet, please let them know to send it my way.
Got it.
All right.
right.
All right. We'll be
Bye.
Thank you so much.
All right. Remember,
Bye.
review the draft of the letter with everybody, though.
Yes, I'll send it by email.
Okay. It says
All right.
minutes, so we
Okay.
should be
Cut.
dropping any time soon.
Vic, you should take your pills.
A chill pill.
Take your pills
Hey,
today.
Henry's still there.
He needs a chill pill. A chill pill.
I'll buy you some. We'll all chip in.
His blood pressure. Someone
Have
take
my
his blood
tooth pull
pressure.
out. Look, see? Look,
Someone
Hey,
take his
Vicky,
blood pressure.
I'll
Pull
give
out.
you some of
Break it
mine.
down.
Pressure's off. Pressure's off for you.
look, see? Look, blood. Look,
That's
see that?
disgusting.
Blood.
Disgusting.
All right, love you. Love you all.
Yeah, someone needs to take his blood